Well, hello everyone and welcome back to another edition of the live dugout. We're coming to you an hour earlier than we usually were during the T20 World Cup, but that's also because we're trying to kind of get back to our routine time, let's say. We used to delay our shows for a good amount of time. And by the way, today, for any one of y'all who wants to come and spam late today, very sorry to disappoint. We're bang on time. It is 6:15 p.m. IST and we are back. We're here on time, no late today. We're very much on time.
The trophy is here. We're also here on time now. The trophy took a time.
The trophy was late.
The trophy took its own time to come. The trophy was the actual thing that was late. Us also at times, but fear not. Now we're going to be on time. Although the trophy is here.
The trophy is here. We're going to be here on time every day.
And today though, as we always do, we look at another subject concerning Indian cricket. Yes, the celebrations are happening. There's things being said. There are reports coming out. By the way, you'd like to know about the players.
Technically, the celebrations haven't started because the players aren't back.
Yeah,
and now Hurricane barrels.
And now the only landmark celebration or the landmark moment you're now looking at is perhaps if there'll be a open bus parade. An open bus parade did happen in 2007. It did happen in 2011. Now that there's been such a wait and Shashwat's eyes are already lit up because he will not come to work the day that it has to happen.
That's tomorrow.
Right? No, the day that the parade has to happen, because Shashwat would want to be part of the parade.
Listen, the players are going to be touching down in Delhi.
But what I was talking
about... Yeah, that's what I was about the
You're given to understand right now, perhaps it's going to happen in Mumbai. Maybe
I was here in Delhi.
Maybe not in Delhi. Delhi, I think the stay here is going to be rather short.
It doesn't matter if they're touching down in Delhi. Do you realize how much pandemonium and chaos is going to come on Delhi's already pandemonium-filled roads?
Is any one of us going to the airport to cover them?
There will be one of us who will be there. But
send him just for this.
Yeah. You could go.
I can happily go.
Yeah. And I'll do your work over here.
I'll go on my without.
He's off tomorrow, I think.
Yeah, I'm off.
Yeah, he's off.
I can go.
No, but I doubt if something's happening in Delhi. I'll tell you why. Because see, it's going to be. It has already been a tedious job getting the players back. They're also stranded over there. Let's not forget. The BCCI is mulling all options at the moment as to how and when it can be done. Remember, there's a stormy session in the parliament also happening right now. So the big wigs who the Indian team is slated to meet, as we already know, all of that is being looked at. That's the first priority. Then perhaps the bus parade. So all of that has to happen, and there are a lot of stakeholders over here, not just the Indian team. So managing all of that is probably going to be a bit of a task in these circumstances. And let's not forget the monsoon mayhem as well, what Delhi witnessed. And there are signs of rain. Today there are signs of rain. There was a yellow alert, if I'm not wrong, over the weekend. So
yes, orange has been upgraded to for this week.
Yeah. Exactly. So given all of that, I don't quite see there being a parade in Delhi, at least on their arrival.
It won't be a parade,
but the pandemonium will be there for sure, and rightly so as well. You're waiting to see those players walk out of the Delhi airport.
So if any of y'all are living there and thereabouts of where the airport is, plan your travel accordingly. Because it is going to get
especially
crazy.
Gurgaon folks.
Oh God, yes.
Gurgaon folks, people who do go to Gurgaon. Oh, please. Yeah. You track the travel advisory, the traffic advisory on big festival days. That is no short of a festival. So the India team, and by the way, what we're getting to is probably in the next 24 hours, the team will be here. Today, at some point later in the day, they are expected. There are a few journalists who are already back. Our men who are over there also look forward to coming back as soon as possible. Perhaps they'll be on the same flight as the Indian team, as the BCCI has now taken it upon themselves to get everyone back, including the players and the traveling media as well. So they could be traveling later in the day, and by that it means that you take another 12 hours into consideration of their travel time. So sometime around tomorrow, because they'll be coming back, so they'll be losing 12 hours then. No, 9.5 hours. 9.5 hours they'll move into they'll move ahead in time as well. So I think it could be late tomorrow night.
Or evening was the perspective.
In fact, my father is also traveling from somewhere. He is also coming back tomorrow, so I might just be there.
So if they're landing tomorrow, one man is definitely going to be there.
Shashwat Balla.
Yeah,
I would anyway want to be there. I will
It's
be there.
absolutely,
I just 10 minutes away from the airport. I'll definitely.
Yeah. You'll be one of the many people who are waiting to see.
I just want to soak in that moment.
Yeah. It's a moment that we all have wanted for so long. It's a moment that we've all craved for. Shashwat's generation particularly. So much was hinging on it. I was telling him the other day how the magnitude of 2011 was actually 10x than what we saw just 2 nights back. But for him, as he says, and I totally get that as well, for him, his friends, he was saying that this meant the world to them, and this was crazy for them. But I was just trying to put things into perspective. In fact, I was telling him, I'll show you the archives from that particular
11 was
time.
crazy because 11 was a home World Cup, remember? You beat Pakistan in the semis. I remember people went out on the streets that day only. That day only people were out. It didn't matter if you hadn't reached the final or that you hadn't won the final. And then when you won the final, dear God, the entire, it felt like Diwali had come out.
It is. 2nd of April is undeclared Diwali. Simple as that. For the last 13 years, it's been undeclared Diwali.
But we are kind of going back in time. Who's not doing that though? The team. It's very much move forward. I can't believe, and that's, it tells you very, interestingly how quickly things move in Indian cricket. That we've just digested this, and this morning I was just going through social media. I was on Twitter. I refuse to call that X for official purposes. I know that's what it's called, but I still call it that. And I came across the BCCI's tweet. Jet said Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? And then I realized, a lot of these guys would have been in India only. So of course they're heading off. By the way, how good was our prediction from yesterday?
You can check that out.
Did we not call it?
We called it hook, line and sinker. And the best part about all of it was, it came at a not unreasonable time. Otherwise, I'm so used to some of these advisories coming at 11:30 at night. Can't tell you
9:30 is the time.
9:30 is still fine.
The perfect.
I used to, in another lifetime, I used to work in a noted print organization. So anything coming at 11 o'clock was hell, because you'd have to stop the presses, quite literally. You need to get that, you need to modify your pages. It's a very
the
cumbersome
layout.
thing.
You need to be coordinating with other teams because
you're stopping the entire
printing. Exactly.
The entire paper is being stopped printing just for this one news. So it was painful. In digital, at least you have that bandwidth that anytime it comes, no problemo, whatever you may be, you're there to break the news. For print, it's a whole different ball game. Anyhow, Zimbabwe is, I think we all know, is normally one series not a lot of us would care that much about. And I'm being honest here. But thing is that this is one series a lot of Indian fans are going to be watching with a lot of bated breath, excitement. There's so much fresh talent. A new captain.
Yeah, a new captain. It is the start. You knew there's going to be a new chapter in Indian cricket once this T20 World Cup got over. But for it to unfold just 5 days after the World Cup victory, you never knew that it's going to come so soon. But it's happening now. Now that moment is here. It's the start of a new chapter. It's a new era being ushered in Indian cricket as well. In many ways, you could say that there's actually both ways of looking at it. That one, you're going back to what you thought was your new era. And then if you want to be a romantic and then say, oh yes, this is a new chapter and all of that as well, that's also equally true. Because you look at it, some of these players have been part of the setup. But the exciting part, and this is where things get exciting, is that you now get to see the backups. You knew a Shubman Gill, a Ruturaj Gaikwad, a Yashasvi Jaiswal were always second to the stalwarts. Now though, these guys become the first position holders, let's say, and now there'll be an Abhishek Sharma, a Ruturaj Gaikwad, all these guys who will be playing second fiddle now. So now you see that assembly line falling in place now. So they were part of the assembly line earlier, now they become front runners, now they become occupants of those vacant positions now, and you now see the others in the assembly line also very frequently now, and most of these guys you saw in the IPL, and it's heartening to see when players from the IPL put in those performances, get noted, and then they get into the Indian team assembly line.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're looking at it from a national team perspective, the whole point of the IPL was that you wanted to give younger players this chance to kind of grab an opportunity and grab attention Where previously, you'd have to be like some sort of a cricket fanatic to be looking at, say, what they were doing in domestic cricket. Now people follow domestic cricket for different reasons, because they look at it and be like, oh, this guy, just showing a lot of intent as a batter, could get a big IPL contract. Oh, this guy's an all-rounder, IPL teams are going to be running after him. Mystery spinner, oh my goodness. And then to see these guys not only then get their IPL chances, do well, and then come on to the international stage, very, very exciting. Right?
That's the whole reason why actually BCCI, changed the whole schedule of the domestic circuit. It used to be Ranji Trophy, then the white ball cricket and the 50 overs, and then T20s. Now it's reversed. Now it's first T20, first the Syed Mushtaq Ali, then the Vijay Hazare, and then the Ranji Trophy. And the sole purpose for that is so that the people in the auction can have a look at the domestic players also. And I feel there is no harm in that also. Firstly, secondly, about this West Zimbabwe series, I am personally really excited. But the only problem here that is going to be is that from this side, somebody really needs to break the door down. I know they have been rewarded for what they have done in the IPL. They have got their Made in India call up. They at least now will be players who have some of them will make their debuts here, but there will be very few who would actually when we look at building up towards the 2026 T20I World Cup, there are just 3 slots. I feel one already taken by Akshar Patel because in place of Jadeja, and then you have spots of Virat and Rohit. So if we just look at the whole thing, there are so many options and there's 3 slots.
No, I would actually say that that Jadeja slot is yet to be filled, because remember Akshar and Jadeja were playing in the same team. Now if the Indian team has to have the same mentality that they want a bowler who could bat also, an all-rounder, somebody of the quality and the ilk of a Ravindra Jadeja, then there is an opening, if you see, because the Indian team did figure out a way of playing both Akshar and Jadeja together. Now the question becomes, is this a philosophy they want to take forward or not? The new head coach, does he like this philosophy just as much as Dravid did? Does the new captain also want a situation where you want batting till 8, or do we have a captain now who wants batting till number 7 only, and he then wants 4 specialist bowlers?
I'd say if you go by this philosophy, the idea that you don't necessarily have Akshar as a replacement to, but a supplement, then there's another spot open easily. Then, very easy to fit in, and I've been a big fan of him, spoken about him a lot on this platform. Very easy to fit into Washington Sundar.
Yeah, and there are options.
Exactly, and he's there. He's there on this tour.
You have these options to replace a Jadeja. Also, you have Riyan Parag, Washington Sundar, these people. But just looking at the larger picture, I feel till now Washington Sundar has been backed by the Indian team constantly. He has
his biggest issue is injuries.
Yeah, he has always been out due to injuries, and then he comes back straight in.
Remember the time that he travelled to the Asia Cup as well?
He played one game and then they brought in Ashwin.
No, he didn't play at all.
No, he did. He played. You just don't remember him playing.
Because he didn't bowl. He didn't bowl. He was back within 24 hours then.
Yeah.
And then Ashwin got named, I think, in the side.
And that just showed that they didn't want to take him. So, and then you'd never know that Gautam Gambhir would be wanting to follow this philosophy or not. I think this tour is more of what it is, just rewarding the players who have done great in IPL. Now, who grabs these opportunities, these 5 T20Is? I think there would be very few players from this fresh lot who you might see going ahead. It could be an Abhishek Sharma. If he just goes on in 5 matches, he scores 200, then he would be somebody who would be definitely looked at. Riyan Parag, if he contributes with the ball and the bat, he would be somebody whom they will be looking at. Harshit Rana for that, in that sense. So anybody who actually just outshines in this series, I think that person will only be the one who would be carried forward.
I just hope and pray that tables don't turn completely for a Yashasvi Jaiswal. I'll tell you why. Because he didn't have a good IPL. I just hope people don't forget what a Yashasvi Jaiswal can do. Now, more and more indications. Again, this is also one of the things we called yesterday, that you will perhaps see an Abhishek Sharma the first couple of matches, because of Yashasvi would perhaps not even make it to Zimbabwe, and that seems to be happening too. And those opportunities, if I'm just saying Abhishek Sharma does go ahead and slam, let's say, a century and then gives you another quick fire 40, 50, it's very easy for you to forget a Yashasvi then, because again, a left-hander, you're always on the lookout for a left-hander. He's aggressive. He's doing exactly what a Yashasvi Jaiswal also does.
Gives you a bowling option too.
Gives you a bowling option too. Yashasvi, you could argue, yes, he has the ability, but does he bowl enough? No. So then, though, it becomes very easy for you to look past Yashasvi, but that won't do justice to Yashasvi Jaiswal because he's not done much wrong. He was not until too long back the toast of the country. Remember those double centuries that he scored back to back. Then of course, it's the way that he bats. It's his aggressive, stroke play, his fearlessness, not caring much about his wicket. You liked all of those things about Yashasvi. The problem is that Abhishek Sharma also gives you all of that. It will just be unfair on Yashasvi if you end up forgetting him. Because if you were to ask me who deserves to be there in the 11 as far as this tour is concerned, it has to be a Yashasvi ahead of an Abhishek. Nothing against Abhishek either. But it will just be sending the wrong message and could probably break down the morale and the motivation of a Yashasvi Jaiswal. It's not easily being a travelling reserve. It's not easy to travel with the team for 1 month, knowing very well that you won't be there in the 11, but then doing those net sessions as well, ensuring that you're in the nick also. So that also takes its own toll. And then Yashasvi knows that he's going to miss out on these first couple of games as well. Just don't discard him. I just hope he's well taken care of, and it goes out to the fans as well. The fans also, if Abhishek does give you those performances and then made to sit the third or the fourth match once Yashasvi is in, you should not be objecting to it, because there is certain process that you need to be following, and you can't just be discarding players arbitrarily then.
But see, one thing that has this specifically, this management, especially like Rahul Dravid and Rohit Sharma, what they have specifically shown is that they are continuously backing players and they are not, discarding players without giving them an actual chance, which we saw with the previous
longer ropes.
Longer ropes, and they are believing in them and everything. Will that be the same with Gautam Gambhir? That is still yet to be seen.
But why do we just say Gautam Gambhir? Is it certain?
It's all but certain. I mean, let's be fair.
And secondly,
but I trust Shashwat to know things closely.
No. But about Abhishek Sharma, I feel that personally, that in the longer run, it would be Gill and Jaiswal who would be your first choice openers. The position that Abhishek Sharma could actually suit in, for me, I feel it's number 3, and I'll tell you why.
It's actually interesting, Shubman Gill's name that you take, because let's not forget, just about a few months back, Shubman Gill was dropped from the side and Yashasvi was brought into the T20I side. Now that was a huge indicator from the Indian team management. However, now on this tour, there is a Ruturaj Gaikwad also, I think, who captained in the Asia Cup, Asian Games, right? You could have given the captain's armband to him, but you haven't. You've given the captain's armband to a Shubman Gill. Now, this is the little confusion for me. I'm not saying that I have problems with Shubman Gill being on the tour. Getting dropped from the Indian 11 doesn't mean that your career is over. He has every right to be contesting for the opening slot as well. But I'm just saying, you do know that going forward there is going to be that problem. There is going to be that problem of bringing him back, because there are options. There are options, and you indicated that you are willing to look past him. Now that you've made him the captain, it's actually, I don't know, you've done the flip-flop too soon, perhaps.
But don't you think that it's just because of his seniority also? He's a big name in the Indian side, in the ODI.
I mean, he was the backup, right? He was going to be the backup opener.
But what about Ritu then?
Ritu, unfortunate, I think he falls in the Washington Sundar category. Has gotten backed a lot. But unlike with Washington, who's actually gotten consistent runs, Rituraj has never gotten a consistent run, because every time he gets a call up, there'll be some weird niggle that he tends to pick up, and that ends up ruling him out. Like, I don't know, the last time he consistently played for India in one format, I recall watching him in action, would be during the aside from the Asian Games, which was in 23, would be the bilateral series against South Africa. I don't know if you remember, it was back in 2022. When KL Rahul was supposed to captain, but then he got out injured, and Rishabh Pant was handed the captaincy reins. That series, I remember, Rituraj opened for 2-3 games.
Even in the Australian series, I think he played most of the games. Yeah. Just after the World Cup. Yeah.
But again, more often than not, every single time, there'll always be some injury which comes in and hampers his progress. And I think that's the main reason why, when he was injured, Gill really took his chances. Now, therein lies the problem that I do agree that technically you could have looked at a Gaikwad to captain in this tour, because maybe, we're looking at it in the sense it's one of those limbo tours, right? It's not really mattering in the grand scheme of things, because again, you're taking an interim coach. It's the NCA director in VVS Lakshman. But you're also looking at it from a long-term lens, clearly, because It's not just seniority that's given you Gill the captain.
Yeah, it's not just seniority. It's also what I feel. It is a vote of confidence in Shubman Gill's ability that they've done over here or given to him, and given him a roadmap. Let's say they've tried showing him a path that, listen, you could have been out of the scheme of things a couple of months back, but we've not given up on you. We in fact look at you as captaincy material as well.
Prospective leader.
Also, the one thing that works very well in Shubman Gill's favor is all format. He is that all format. He comes in that very limited talent pool you have when it comes to all format players. So perhaps it is done thinking that also, because like we know, split captaincy is not how India works.
Split coaching is not how we work for cricket.
Exactly. So you're looking at whosoever is going to be the captain now. You're looking at that guy taking over the reins across formats at some point as well.
Yeah, but obviously not in the near future, but yes.
But the problem, the problem here is the reason you're giving Shubman Gill the captaincy at this point is because he has that potential of being that star batsman which you call. The same thing that you did with the Virat Kohli also. So that logic of I have no problem with him as a captain, but the reason why you have actually chosen him as a captain, I think that is not right. And secondly, I feel that I personally still feel that it's been given here, the captaincy here has been given as because of the seniority. Because if we look at what is the things to come, I feel that it's going to be Hardik Pandya definitely who's going to lead the T20I side for a while now. And the man after him, you have many options for the vice captaincy slot. You have a Surya Kumar Yadav, you have a Rishabh Pant, you have Jasprit Bumrah. All these people are already there to fill the slot of that vice captaincy. So that's why I feel this Zimbabwe series isn't showing me much about what is there to come.
Actually, Jasprit Bumrah is going to be a very good name over there, because you see, remember that he's led India in a test match, also a crucial test match in England. He was the captain of that side, and he also, much like a Surya and some of the other players, has expressed desire to lead the Indian team. It's any player's desire, simple as that, leading the Indian team. And given his wit, given his sharpness as a player, I think he makes for a very good candidate as well. See, he's going to be playing the shortest format. He's going to be playing test matches for sure for the Indian team. ODI, he's there. So he's your next all format player as well. So he's also very good shout. Hardik Pandya, by the way, the limitation with Hardik Pandya is, he doesn't play tests.
Yeah.
That's the limitation.
But the thing is that never stopped them from giving him the captaincy prior. So I think if they really go
and this could be the start of the split captaincy thing for a while, because Rohit Sharma is not going anywhere as far as Test cricket is concerned. He's there for another year, we know. Till the next till you have the next WTC final, which is a good year away, Rohit Sharma is there.
And the Champions Trophy.
The Champions Trophy as well. So you're not looking at a leadership change in ODIs and Tests for the good 8 to 10 months to follow right now. So there is a brief era, or there is a brief time, let's say, in this new era of Indian cricket that we're looking at. There will be this brief time we will have split captaincy.
You could have, and I think they were okay with it.
Now you will have.
Assuming
T20, because T20 cricket is going to be not that much.
Right.
So in a way, there is split. There was, in the truest sense of it, split captaincy last year as well. Just that it was never quoted that way.
Also, technically, if you're looking at it, there was split captaincy when Kohli first assumed the captaincy, right?
Yeah.
He took it in 2014. For good 2 years thereafter, Dhoni held on to the white ball captaincy. So you did have split captains. You are okay going there for the time being, which is then where, again, and hear me out here, what if they're looking at Gill as the next red ball captain? Because if you have Hardik, who's made it clear he's not going to be playing test cricket because his body does not take it, I understand that. He's not good, but if they are keen still in keeping him as
the only problem, with what, for me, I think he's the first choice, only choice, everything. He should be named the captain, I think. The way he has played, the way he
actually first choice, only choice. What happened to Shreyas Iyer?
No, I'll tell you now why. The only problem with Jasprit Bumrah is that you will not make him play all the games. And if you're the captain of the side and you have to make a roadmap, then that's the only problem with Jasprit Bumrah. That's the problem. And then in that ways he cannot make the team and build the team for ahead, because he is somebody who's definitely.
Or I would say that you could stick with that thought process of going in with the Jasprit Bumrah, but having or empowering, let's say, a very strong vice captain.
That is really complicated.
Never happens.
You're not
Yeah,
having
that's
a
what I'm
straight
saying.
captain.
It's left field. It's something we've not seen. But I'm just saying it's a thought
It
that
could
can
happen.
be explored as well.
It could happen, but it will require radical change for one very simple reason. The running joke for years has been that giving the vice captaincy to any Indian player is a death knell.
KL Rahul was
KL Rahul, Suresh
Yuvraj
Raina, Yuvraj Singh,
Yeah.
all these guys have been vice captains without really ever sniffing full-time captaincy.
Shikhar Dhawan.
Oh yeah, Shikhar also used to, but Shikhar at least has led in some bilaterals
Yeah.
here and there. So at least there was that. But yeah, otherwise being the vice captain never happens to be a good thing. I mean, sure, Pandya is one exception in that regard, in the sense that he got captaincy for a whole year, could very well be the captain here as well. That's my only problem with Bumrah is if you bring him in, he'll need to be playing majority of the games. Is he going to do that? No. And for good reason. For good reason. I don't care if we don't play him in any bilaterals as long as you put him in
Just
cold
get him in
storage
the trophies.
and get him there for either the big bilaterals or the trophy times. Get him there, no problem. You've done it. You've shown in the past that you're flexible enough to do it with Shami. He barely plays bilaterals, but more often
He's a giant killer. He's your
bolter
IPL.
across.
Jasprit Bumrah can be a very good choice for captaincy in the IPLs. I feel. No, honestly, because he doesn't. Yeah,
that's an interesting
because he
debate to
doesn't.
start.
He plays all the games, so there I think it's the perfect place for him to captain. And there I think
Mumbai Indians fans, you were spoiled for choice.
You don't know if he's going to Mumbai, do you?
You don't know if they may stay.
Although you talk to somebody that's why you are saying.
Although if I was the Mumbai Indians owners, I'd make him stay even against my will. If I have to give up on anyone from these things,
yeah,
you can tell Rohit.
Definitely.
Thank you, boss.
Just I hope that he comes to. What if Rohit comes to Delhi and then Bumrah?
Well, Delhi were the only team interested in getting a trade done last year. Could happen. You never know.
Then Rohit gets Bumrah.
Stakes are high now for Rohit
also.
Sharma.
Very high, very high. And now I think his profile is going to be boosted even more. T20 World Cup winning captain. What more do you need?
5-time champion of the IPL.
Ended India's trophy.
He's a 2-time winner of the World Cup now.
Champions Trophy winner too.
Champions Trophy winner.
And I think the combination with Rishabh Pant in Delhi with Rohit Sharma could be really good. You know what? Because
Then
they have that.
Will you be
bond.
happy then with Rishabh not being the captain?
No, I think Rishabh will only be the captain. Rohit Sharma
What is the point of bringing in a
telling
Rohit?
you.
Rohit will come and be like, "हाँ मैं यहाँ पे भी captaincy नहीं करूँगा."
No, I think that would still work. Because here I think Rishabh Pant and Rohit Sharma, what I feel, have that, they have that thing in between, that
Chemistry?
in them.
I don't think so.
The
Whenever
thing is,
Rohit goes next,
it has to be for captaincy.
So
Simple
but
as
do
that.
you think that somebody is going to invest in Rohit Sharma? The captain seeing that it's going to be
It
for a
has
long
to be
run.
one of the
3 years?
teams.
Sure. Any team will do it.
Yeah,
Any
yeah.
team desperate enough to win a title will do
Exactly.
it. I'm looking at you, Punjab Kings.
Yes, it is agreed. Completely, wholeheartedly agree with
So do you
Shane.
think Delhi would want him? Then I don't.
Well, Delhi made a play for him. Let's be fair.
But
we know
it's
that
going
much.
to be a lot of power tussle that Delhi will then have to handle because let's be honest, no one likes being stripped of power. Rishabh,
Shreyas Iyer.
No, I think he was absolutely right in that.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
Pant will not be. You think whatever we see on camera is not the whole thing. Let's be honest about
But
it.
when last time, what do you think? The last time when Delhi actually showed interest in a Rohit Sharma, do you think he would have come in as a captain?
Of course.
No. Do you think they would have taken captaincy from Rishabh
But
Pant?
Rishabh Pant again was still recovering. Let's not forget.
You didn't know what version of Pant you were gonna
exactly. Those events were happening in the month of November, December. What we're talking about.
And the play for him happened in Jan. if I
Exactly.
remember correctly.
And then Rishabh Pant, you still didn't know what shape and form Rishabh Pant you'll get back in. So all of that, Delhi were well within their rights to go ahead and explore. Now though, Rishabh Pant, because of how he's been branded by the franchise, how he's been positioned by the franchise, he's the face of the franchise. If you ask him, listen boss, now just 2 years, forget this, we're getting Rohit Sharma. He'll also create his own problems, simple as that.
Yeah, he'll also want to leave.
Exactly.
Easy as you like. No problem, no point.
Exactly.
Once you've tasted captaincy, there's no going back.
There is no
Yeah, that is
going
true.
back.
That's why even like people say, no, KL Rahul will give LSG captaincy. I'm like, if he gives that up, he's leaving the franchise. Because he's been a captain across 2 franchises
And
now.
nobody else is keeping him as a captain.
I mean, yeah, sure.
Punjab
Kings
Kings,
might.
yeah, Punjab
Don't
Kings
ever
might.
put it past Punjab Kings. But okay, neither here nor there.
No, they though had him, so they wouldn't take him.
No, but do you know they were very keen to actually keep him on as captain. He
didn't
chose
want
to
to
move
stay.
to LSG. Yeah. They were more than happy, which tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah.
But
who
either which
is
way,
thinking over there? What is happening?
listen, no one knows who's thinking what, because they change not only their players every year but also their coaching staff.
Yeah.
I find it a task keeping charge or keeping a track of who their coach is.
Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there. We're veered a bit off topic.
That's
See,
the other complex thing in sport right now after, let's say, those transfers done by Chelsea last year and the year before that.
this year at least we're being wise somehow. I'm
Yeah.
no idea why. But see, that's the thing. I mean, if you're looking at it now, and also I think that's why the IPL really muddies waters. You have so many prospective captaincy candidates. How many foreign captains do you have? This year you had
one.
Two. You had this year.
Pat Cummins and
Faf.
Yeah, two.
I think that was it.
Yeah,
Those are the only foreign captains you had.
Not more.
And next year there's no guarantee Faf will be a captain or even picked by anyone. He may.
There was one, we're forgetting. One more.
Oh, Sam
Curran.
Sam Curran. Tells you everything.
Okay, that's off topic then.
What?
No, I think we have seen Shikhar Dhawan play for the last day.
Yeah, definitely.
Perhaps.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's a good topic for when the IPL auction approaches.
You can
But-
just write it down and keep it.
Yeah. So, but again, see, if you're looking at even IPL, you would look at a lot of people and be like, what's wrong with them? The IPL winning captain is
Not
nowhere
even
near
in
the
the
side.
scheme, yeah.
But of course, in that regard, it's understandable. He's had the whole contract fiasco. But there's a legit case to be making a case.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
him.
definitely,
Everyone can make a case saying that the
definitely.
IPL winning captain, how do you not have him anywhere near? How do you not have him in the captaincy conversation? It's always someone who can and will force that
I'll
conversation.
be very, you as a franchise is very lucky to have a Shreyas Iyer.
I
as
agree.
captain, and I feel like it's not the last IPL trophy he's winning. I think there's a very long way to go for him as a captain, and I feel
Fitness permitting.
then that's why if the BCCI doesn't go, the team management in general doesn't go by this logic, right? That you need to make the star batter your captain, then Shreyas Iyer for red ball isn't a bad option as a captain.
Yeah, but he'll need to get a call back first. That will be the main thing. Get
Let's
the call
not forget
back.
he's
But he didn't
still
do
trying to
anything
come out of those
wrong.
shadows
No,
of
he
those
didn't.
disciplinary
But
issues.
Shane's he played one Ranji Trophy game when he was asked to. After that, he was injured. The BCCI cleared him, yes.
Yeah,
But he
that's the
played
thing.
after that also. He played the quarters of the Ranji Trophy.
His
also.
timing, see, the thing was that there was a lot of he said, she said, and it didn't make him look good. I'm not saying, but the BCCI side it was right either, because I thought him and Ishan Kishan were both soft targets. You're not punishing your big star players like this. It's never happening. But see, that's the thing. If you're talking about,
But you had to send across a message, and it happened.
it happened to him. How many more now? You are already
The
ensuring
president
that,
is set now.
Let's see.
That's the thing.
Give it time. I'll believe it again when I see it that people suddenly have started taking domestic cricket seriously.
This time it was talked about it.
It was
People
talked
were
about.
watching about. Yeah.
They've talked the talk. Who's going to walk the walk? Now we'll know once the domestic season starts. There's still some time for that. But I mean, see, Hardik or Shubman, if you're picking, there's a legit case, and that's why I was saying with Shubman, we're coming back to that. I think they may very well be grooming him for red ball, because he's solidified himself in tests. At least had a couple of good knocks, even in the recent series when he was under fire.
Vizag, then he bounced back.
Big time. So you could very well be looking at a case of where it's not Hardik Pandya or Shubman Gill. Could be Hardik Pandya and Shubman Gill. Pandya for white ball, Gill for red ball. And you could very well make that transition eventually to make Gill your all-captain format, depending on how he does with GT. Remember, one thing which counts against Gill for me, I mean, there's several things, but the one real thing is the lack of captaincy experience.
Yeah.
He's never really captained at the junior levels or state level. Even the T20, even the under-19 World
He
Cup that
wasn't.
made him a
Prithvi
star.
Shaw.
It was
Prithvi
Prithvi Shaw who
was.
was the captain. He wasn't anywhere near
He was the
right
vice
thing.
captain.
Oh, he was the vice. Okay. Vice captain. But still, other than this, I mean, if you're looking at it, at least in the case of Virat, he had won you an under-19 World Cup as skipper. There was a legit reasoning, and he was always seemed like he was being the person groomed once he became a solidified person. But Gill, I never got that feeling.
I think Virat was the last person who won you an under-19 World Cup, and then he went on to play for India. After that, there's no captain under-19.
No, you're right. Because in 2020 it was Priyam Garg.
Yeah.
He's nowhere near sniffing even an IPL contract.
Then it was
never mind.
Yash Dul.
Again.
But he was given the captaincy of Delhi, and then the captaincy was taken back from him.
But then Delhi captaincy being taken should be like a badge of honor. Happened to Nitish Rana also. And then he ended up getting so miffed that
He did that celebration also, that dul of removing it from the bat. And then they had a whole thing in the IPL also.
Oh, whoa, man. Delhi, this thing don't remind me. I always go back to it and remember.
League is also starting, like Sher Punjab in Punjab. There's one in Delhi.
Sher Punjab is on, isn't it?
Sher Punjab is done.
It's done.
It's done.
Now, now leagues have started. One league is starting in Delhi also.
That'll be fun.
First time, no?
Yeah, because you've already had, you've had Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka and all have been running for a while. This year you had the
Sameer Rizvi came from that UP league.
Yeah.
UP T20. Yeah. So you do have, let's say, a lot of leagues in that regard, and I think that's becoming another thing that, putting it in this way, you're seeing a lot of these leagues prop up. And no surprise, it is the Delhi are to get in on the action as well. But I mean, okay, let's be honest, before we go into comments, let's quickly take a vote of confidence. If you had to pick one, or what would be your personal roadmap? Just a quick.
I am trusting Hardik Pandya to take the team forward. You gave him that power, you empowered him, you gave him that badge for that entire 1 year that the seniors and Rohit and Virat weren't there. He started grooming the team his own way. I liked how he talked about the team, saying that this is my team, and the responsibility that he took as well, and the right decision as well. I think I like when an all-rounder is given that badge. I think you just are thinking, not unidimensionally. You're looking at things far more holistically, because you can do both the disciplines very well, and I like it. I think he's fit enough to be playing white ball cricket. He has been the vice captain several times, as we know, captain more than that as well of this side. So Shubman Gill can be looked at as a good prospect, but right now is the next 2 years I look at Hardik Pandya being the right person to take Indian team forward.
Nothing more to add. I also agree. I think it has to be Hardik. If it is anyone else, then I think it will be a bit of a weird kind of a segue, because you looked at Hardik, he did relatively well given the circumstances and given the uncertainty that would have been hanging over him. Lest we forget, now these players are retired. They're retired. Previously they were just being rested or sidelined, whichever way you look at it.
For me, does it have to be between these two?
No, it can be anyone. See, it's your choice.
It's really tough. See, I'll tell you.
Just put out 2 names, that's it.
2 names, right?
Who appear to be the front runners right now. But if you have...
For me personally, I'll see for red ball, I honestly see Shreyas Iyer leading the side, and that's
after
Rohit. Yeah. And the problem, the issue here is that Hardik Pandya has 1 IPL trophy, 1 final to his name. He's currently,
and 1 booing.
Yeah, he's currently the player who's talked about the most. But Hardik Pandya and Shreyas Iyer, I feel captaincy styles are very different. Now, which one suits to this generation players with the coach, all of that really matters. So for me, I think white ball, it should be Hardik Pandya only, because he has done that. He was actually replaced by Rohit Sharma also this time. So, and in red ball, I would keep Shreyas.
But I mean, just imagine if by some chance Shreyas manages a comeback and then ends up becoming the white ball skipper under Gautam Gambhir.
Could be. That's why.
One season you've seen what dhamaka they did.
That's why
let's be honest.
I know this might sound as a very wild name to like throw out in this captaincy situation
but that's
right
okay.
now.
No one saw Hardik as a captaincy candidate in 2021.
That's why I feel.
In fact, many people were saying you should be dropped.
No, what he did with the Delhi side also. Since that time, I've been a very big fan of his captain.
Yeah, I think he's the only one to have led them to a final.
Yeah.
I totally understand that.
And then he made you win also.
Oh yeah, 3rd title. Yes. Well, it's fun, this thing. A lot of people were pointing out to me also on like socials that KKR and India winning titles are somewhat connected. 2011 you won the World Cup, 2012 KKR won it, 2013 you won a title with India, 2014 KKR won. Both went on a drought. Then KKR win 24. It's done. So basically, you need thriving KKR for a thriving India. Saransh agrees with me.
And he does this.
Absolutely. But anyway, let's take a look at
this.
Saransh, this yaar, what KKR? 2 titles now. This should be your thing.
We'll celebrate all of them. Anyway, let's take a look at some of the comments. Do we have any supers? I'm sure we would have 1 at least, surely.
Saransh, should we tell your shopping plans to everyone?
Yeah. We should definitely. We should definitely. And we should even take their opinions.
Put out a poll.
Is it 15 or 14, which is better?
Dhanush says Rituraj better than Gill in T20, and why is Pant not retired from T20? As for the second thing, I think that's a silly thing to be asking now. Secondly, Rituraj over Gill in T20s can be a fair call, but in T20I Gill has a far more solid record, so you're not going to just shoehorn Gill away for the sake of Rituraj, who tends to often get injured at the worst times.
Yeah. Interesting. From International 3191, he says, why are we forgetting Rishabh Pant also has an all
Actually,
format.
yeah, good shout.
Captain.
I mean, I have had no doubts over his being selected in in ODIs and tests. No two ways about it. That guy
He's
should be
actually
there. Your biggest match winner. Biggest match winner.
And all format guy as well.
In fact, a lot of people are mentioning that. See, there's Web of Kaushik, he's saying it. Jussi in the comments saying that Pant will be preferred over Shubman. I agree, there's good shouts there. It is actually a very good, this thing a lot of people are mentioning. Priyanshu says that, Roko, and I think he's referring to yesterday's topic, that Roko will be replaced by Gill and Abhishek/Yashasvi. Jadeja by Sundar. I agree with that part. Also, Pant's not a T20I player, not a youngster, played 74 T20s. At age 25, Virat used to win player of the tournaments for fun. Play Abhishek at 3. I think you were mentioning that Abhishek at 3.
Yesterday, I think.
Yeah.
Even today.
No, I still
Abhishek
feel...
at 3.
Yeah, I'll tell you the reason.
But Parag is there, na?
But he will bat at number 3.
He will bat at 4, 5.
He'll bat, he can bat there. You know why Abhishek Sharma, I feel, the way he has played, number 3 would actually suit him, because Shubman Gill, what I feel with Shubman Gill is, the problem would be same. When he comes at number 3, he would not be able to express, then show the intent that way. He's more suitable at the opening slot, and he has done that all throughout. Abhishek Sharma has played in the middle order. He knows that he knows the conditions and he can play in the middle order, and number 3 would be really, really suitable for him.
Mayank Madan says that Hardik is the obvious choice as captain in T20, but he also says that could they welcome the Indian team in the Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad? How they did it for Messi at Argentina and Estadio Monumental Buenos Aires. I think Ahmedabad is out of the question, although wouldn't really surprise me. But we've seen no reports of it happening, so doesn't seem like it's happening. Dex with a football question asking me and Harshad, do you think Kai Havertz and Musiala can expose Spain's untested backline? He means Lenormand, who scored an own goal, and Aymeric Laporte. Also, their fullbacks have an issue with overlapping runs. I think, Kai Musiala is a good shout. But
Havertz has not been having the kind of season that you expected him to, or the kind of Euro, especially how he ended his time in Arsenal last year.
Listen, I, as a Chelsea fan, have watched enough of Havertz. He will underwhelm through most of the year. At the end of the season, he'll have a God level run at the end of the season, and then again when it comes to international tournaments, will be hit or miss. So you're seeing his template play out. But he did get a penalty goal in the last game. I remember that. Musiala on the other hand, he's been impressive since 2022's World Cup. He's just been next level. Nobata Nobby says, why can't India identify a Graham Smith kind of player to captain India? I mean, Graham Smith was, once in a generation.
Exactly.
They don't come that good always. They don't always come
Smiths,
that good.
The Elgars.
But freaking awesome makes a point a lot of people seem to be making, saying still not convinced, but Gill is a T20 player. Better openers than him in this format. And since the 2026 T20 World Cup is going to happen here in India and Sri Lanka, hope people play well. Yeah.
And I think the reason why people at this point are thinking this, because the factor of recency. What we have seen from Abhishek now at this point, I think everyone is still, everyone wants an Abhishek to.
That's because you've been craving for a batter like Abhishek. That's because you've been wanting
someone who made
somebody like a exactly. When you see on the other side, there's a Phil Salt in England, there's a Travis Head in Australia. There's a Fraser McGurk also that Australia have in the pipeline now. You want that explosiveness as well, and there's not too many batters who can offer it the way that Abhishek Sharma does. So that is the one thing Indian cricket fans want at the moment.
The crave. I absolutely understand it, but I think let's give Gill a little time, guys. Let's not be that unfair to him also. He still has a good record. Unless he continues to underwhelm, then by all means look beyond. I don't think there's a possibility.
You showed him the door anyway once. Simple as that.
Exactly.
So it's not like, it's cast in stone that he is going to be playing. No, you've taken that call once and you could be taking it again, whatever is the need of the hour.
We'll sign off with this comment from Chaitanya Bhagga, saying that he wants Hardik or KL Rahul as white ball captain. I think I've seen it all.
There were people who wanted KL Rahul in the management also previously.
They definitely wanted him. Thank God.
And people wanted KL Rahul over a Rohit Sharma also.
By the way, do you know, you want one funny thing? India's a lot of people are going to go after me for this one, but okay, why do I care? Their trophy drought started in 2014 onwards. KL Rahul made his debut in 2014. He got dropped from the squad in 2024.
And not just that, even Virat and Ravi Shastri after them wanted to make KL Rahul the
they
captain.
were big KL
They
Rahul
wanted
fans.
to
That's
make
fine,
KL
that's
Rahul
fine.
the
KL
captain.
Rahul, let's be honest, just as fond as we are of, let's say, Shreyas Iyyar's techniques, pleasing to the eye and whatnot,
KL is the
Rahul,
same. Yeah.
KL Rahul is cut from the same fabric.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that. He was looked at. Same with Shubman Gill. See, that's what it is. Players who are pleasing on the eye, there is something that you get a little extra with that.
Batting, I still feel that KL Rahul is also somebody who's like really pleasing to the eye, but as a captain,
And the same applies
I
to
don't
football
see-
as well, which is what I keep telling Saransh, but he
KL
doesn't
is
always
basically
agree.
our Babar.
no, I feel
Aesthetically pleasing to the eye, and I won't rate him as a captain.
It just
yeah, as a captain, I would definitely not want KL Rahul, not even in a franchise.
Sorry, LSG fans.
Anyway, Saransh is now telling us to wrap things up because he's getting late for shopping. He just can't, that credit card of his is urging to come out of the
That
pocket.
is offering 4,000 rupees off also on that.
Yeah. Saransh has found his way. He's indulging in some shopping. He's so happy with what he saw from India the other day, and he feels like treating
Is it
himself.
just about that?
Yeah. That's what he says. Saransh, जनता जानना चाहती है.
Anyhow, thank you guys so much for joining us on this edition of the Live Dugout. As always, enjoy having you here, hearing from you guys as well. And if you enjoy our work, like, share, subscribe, tap the bell, all that stuff. Follow us on socials, download the SportsTech app. And right now, from all three of us, and Saransh is sitting behind the scenes, it is good night, Shubhratri, Shabba Khair.
Shashwat,
No, this is
take
the
over,
time.
take over.
Don't trouble your mother.
Arey,
Eat your vegetables.
you missed the.
You missed Vanakam.
Exactly.
Vadakam, Nandri, Shabba Khair.
I said that. Eat your vegetables.
Eat your vegetables and don't trouble your mother.
Bye.